Welcome back to Your Community Strategist. I'm your host, Rachel Starr. And today we're diving into a story that completely changed how I think about first impressions in community building. This episode is part of the Community at Heart playlist. Those bite-sized episodes where we unpack strategic insights you can implement right away. Think of these as your weekly dose of aha moments that you can actually use without needing a PhD in community psychology. And yes, this is once again inspired by The Power of Moments by Chip and Dan Heath. Seriously, Maggie, this book recommendation has been pure gold. I'm pretty sure I referenced it more than my morning coffee at this point, and that's saying something. But before we dive in, I want to remind you that this episode is brought to you by the Strategic Community Co-op, my monthly membership designed specifically for course creators, summit hosts, and membership builders who want to create thriving, engaged communities without constantly feeling like they're herding digital cats. Inside, you'll find templates, workshops, and support systems to help you build a community that actually works for you and your members. Check out the link in the show notes to learn more. Now, let me tell you about your first day at John Deere. And stick with me here because this isn't just a feel-good corporate story. This is a masterclass in intentional experience design. Picture this. You've just accepted a job offer, and before you even set foot in the building, someone named, let's say, Annika, emails you. She introduces herself, shares the practical stuff, where to park, what the dress code looks like, and tells you she'll be waiting for you in the lobby at 9 a.m. on your first day. Already, you're not walking into the unknown. Someone has your back. When that morning arrives, you walk into the lobby and there's Annika, exactly as promised. Here's where it gets good. She points to the flat screen monitor. There's a giant headline, "Welcome," followed by your name. Not "Welcome new employees" or "Welcome team members," your actual name. She walks you to your cubicle where a 6-foot banner rises above the cube walls announcing there's a new hire. Now, you might think this sounds a little extra, but here's what's brilliant about it. It's a conversation starter. Throughout the day, people actually stop by to say hello because they can see there's someone new. You're not invisible on day one. Your monitor background? A gorgeous shot of John Deere equipment on a farm at sunset with text that reads, "Welcome to the most important work you'll ever do." Not "Welcome to John Deere," not "Thanks for joining the team," but "Welcome to the most important work you'll ever do." They're connecting your presence to purpose from minute one. Then you notice your first email, a video from Sam Allen, the CEO, not a form letter from HR, a personal video where he talks about the company's mission to provide food, shelter, and infrastructure for the world's growing population. And he closes with, "Enjoy the rest of your first day, and I hope you'll enjoy a long, successful, fulfilling career as part of the John Deere team." On your desk, a gift, a stainless steel replica of John Deere's original self-polishing plow from 1837, with a card explaining why farmers loved it. This isn't just swag, it's a connection to legacy, to the bigger story you're now part of. At lunch, Annika takes you off-site with a small group. They ask about your background, share their projects. You're not eating alone in the cafeteria, wondering if you'll ever fit in. Later, your boss's boss stops by and makes plans for lunch next week. You matter enough for the department manager to block time for you. You leave that first day thinking, "I belong here. The work we're doing matters, and I matter to them." Here's why this story stopped me in my tracks. Every single element was intentional. Nothing was left to chance. They didn't just assume you'd figure it out or you'd naturally feel welcome. They designed the experience. And here's the kicker. Most of what they did cost almost nothing. A banner, a welcome message on a screen, introductions, an email from leadership. The most expensive part was probably lunch. So let's talk about your community. When someone joins your membership or course community, what's their first day experience? Are they getting the John Deere treatment? Or are they wandering around a digital lobby wondering if anyone noticed they showed up? I'm going to be real with you here. Most communities, even really good ones, accidentally create the opposite of the John Deere moment. Someone pays, gets access, maybe receives a generic welcome email that says something like, "Welcome to the community. Please introduce yourself in the welcome thread." And then crickets. They log in, they see a bunch of content. Maybe they lurk for a few days. And if they're lucky, someone responds to their introduction post with a thumbs up emoji. Meanwhile, they're asking themselves, did I make the right choice joining this? Do I actually belong here? Is anyone going to notice if I just don't participate? What am I supposed to do first? And here's what's heartbreaking. They might have been super excited when they joined. They might have exactly the right goals and be exactly the right fit for your community. But if their first experience is confusion or invisibility, they're already mentally checking out. What if you flipped the script? What if new members felt seen from moment one? What if they knew exactly where they fit and why their presence matters? What if joining your community felt less like wandering into a crowded party where you don't know anyone and more like personally welcomed into someone's home? Let me give you some examples of what this could look like in your community. Instead of a generic welcome email, what if you sent a 60-second voice message saying, "Hey, Sarah, I saw you join from Austin. I actually lived there for 2 years and loved it. I'm so excited you're here because based on what you shared in your application, I think you're going to love our monthly goal setting sessions. I can't wait to see what you create." Instead of hoping new members find the right content, what if you created a simple start here path with 3 specific actions they could take in their first week, not overwhelming them with everything available, but giving them a clear roadmap? Instead of leaving introductions to chance, what if you personally introduce new members to 2 to 3 existing members who share similar goals or background? "Hey, Jessica, meet Pete. You both mentioned wanting to launch a podcast this year. Pete just hit episode 10 and might have some great insights." Instead of making new members feel like they're interrupting existing conversations, what if you had a weekly new member spotlight where you celebrated someone who just joined and share what you're excited for them to accomplish? These don't require fancy tech or huge time investments. They require intention. I know what some of you are thinking. "Rachel, this sounds amazing, but I barely have time to create my regular content. How am I supposed to personally welcome every new member?" And that's fair. But here's the thing. What if I told you that spending 10 minutes on intentional onboarding could prevent you from losing members who would have stayed for months or even years? What if creating one great week of onboarding was more valuable than creating 3 more content modules that people might never see? That's exactly what we're tackling in the 6-week member onboarding sprint inside the Strategic Co-op. We're building your version of the John Deere experience, one small, intentional step each week. In week 1, we map your current new member journey. Spoiler alert, most people discover they don't actually have one. In week 2, we design your signature welcome sequence. In week 3, we create connection points that help new members find their people. Week 4, we build in early wins so people feel successful quickly. Week 5, we establish check-in systems so no one falls through the cracks. And in week 6, we automate what we can and systemize what we can't. And to get you started right now, I've created something special, the first 7-day member journey map. It's a free Notion template that helps you map out what actually happens when someone joins your community. Because here's the thing, you might think you have onboarding handled, but when you actually map it out day by day, hour by hour, you'll spot the gaps. The moments where new members might feel lost, confused, or invisible. This template includes a day-by-day breakdown of your members' first week, a checklist for reviewing your current process, 3 quick wins you can implement immediately, ways to plan your own John Deere moments, questions to help you identify where members might be getting stuck. When you download it, you'll probably have 1 or 2 reactions. Either you'll think, oh wow, we actually don't have much of a plan for new members, or you'll realize we have pieces, but they're not connected into a cohesive experience. Both are totally normal and completely fixable. Your version of the John Deere experience might be a personalized welcome video, a surprise resource drop based on their specific goals, or even just remembering to mention new members by name in your next live session. It doesn't have to be elaborate. It just has to show that you see them as individuals, not just numbers on your dashboard. Here's what I want you to remember. Your community members are real humans with real hopes and real fears about whether they've made the right choice joining you. They're not just looking for content, they're looking for connection, for belonging, for evidence that they matter. The John Deere story works because it answers the question every new person is asking: do I belong here? And it answers it with a resounding yes. Your community can do the same thing. It just takes intention. Download the first 7-day member journey map using the link in the show notes. Take 20 minutes this week to map out what actually happens when someone joins your community. And if you want the full system for creating an onboarding experience that turns new members into raving fans, come join us for the complete 6-week sprint inside the co-op. Because at the end of the day, people won't remember every piece of content you shared or every feature you offered, but they'll always remember how you made them feel on day 1, day 2, and day 7. That first week, that's your John Deere moment. Make it count. Until next time, keep creating those unforgettable first impressions, because that's what community at heart is all about. Bye, friends.